The Republic of Kazakhstan is full of unique resource of natural resources. Kazakhstan is the first country in the CIS to create institutional conditions for transition to a green economy with targeted indicators for reducing energy intensity, increasing the share of alternative energy and recycling. The goal is to diversify the economy, ensure sustainability and competitiveness, avoid commodity dependence. In 2010, the first president Elbасы Nursultan Nazarbayev offered the Green Bridge Partnership Program to the world in order to achieve the optimal level of resource consumption by the middle of the 21st century. To this day, 16 states have already joined it. As an active participant in the green movement, the capital of Kazakhstan received the right to hold the international specialized exhibition Expo 2017 theme Energy of the Future, which showed Kazakhstan's commitment to sustainable development goals. The exhibition was attended by 115 countries and 22 international organizations. Also, a few years before the opening of the exhibition, it was decided to use the infrastructure and heritage of Expo for operations in the green direction. Looking into the future, on the basis of the Expo 2017 infrastructure, I propose to open the International Center for the Development of Green Technologies and Investment Projects under the United Nations auspices in Astana. In April 2018, on behalf of Elbасы, the International Green Technologies and Investment Projects Center was established on the basis of Expo heritage. His presentation was held in the framework of the Astana Economic Forum with the participation of known world scientists and public figures. Mission of the center: facilitation of Kazakhstan's accelerated transition to a green economy, creation of conditions for investors, guarantee of the return and safety of green investment, development of a green culture, solution of environmental problems through the development of green technologies in the Republic of Kazakhstan and subsequently in the countries of the Central Asian region. Internationally, the center has established strategic partnerships with world leaders and the green economy community. The center aims to promote the Green Bridge Partnership Program. Partnerships with the regions are established for the coordination and joint development of green projects. Systematic work will accelerate the process of implementation and achievement of Kazakhstan's key indicators on the transition to a green economy, as well as the implementation of instructions from the first President Elbасы to improve the environmental situation, waste management, and the development of alternative energy sources. For this purpose, the center forms a digital database uniting all green objects. Its key components are map of projects based on wind, hydro, solar, and landfills atlas will be a guide for investors. Thus, the center will become the main platform for the interaction of all participants of transition to a green economy process. Our common goal and objective is to make Kazakhstan a high-tech and competitive country leading the development of a green economy in the Central Asian region.
Greetings from Kazakhstan. My name is Ulfiya. I'm Deputy Director of Climate Policy and Green Technologies Department of Ministry of Ecology, Geology and Natural Resources of the Republic of Kazakhstan. Dear friends, it is a great honor to address you today at this global press conference on climate innovations. Climate change today represents a challenge that can only be addressed by joint action. As a responsible member of international community, Kazakhstan takes the climate challenge to heart. Being a landlocked developing country, we already experience the consequences of climate change. We are witnessing how climate is getting drier, how water is getting scarcer, and how glaciers are retreating. The Tuyuksu Glacier of Kazakhstan's Ilia Alatau has retreated by 640 meters between 1958 and 1998, and by another 500 meters between 1998 and 2019. This is a strong indicator of warming temperature. To contribute to global climate action, we have joined the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change and the Paris Agreement. We have committed to reducing carbon emissions by 15% below 1990 level by 2030 and currently developing low emissions development concept. We hope to present both updated national determined contributions and low emissions development concept before next conference of the parties in Glasgow. According to IPCC, the climate in Central Asia, in which Kazakhstan is located, will increase by 4-6 degrees centigrade by century end. This calls for stronger action in climate change adaptation. A draft of new environmental code, which is currently being discussed in the Parliament, considers the integration of climate change adaptation process into national programs and decision-making process. We hope that this would allow making more informed decisions to reduce our exposure to climate-related risks and enhance resilience, especially in the sectors where we are most vulnerable, including water resources, agriculture, forestry, and disaster risk reduction. We believe that emerging climate-related challenges require innovative solutions, ingenuity, and more so, joining hands across boundaries. We welcome diverse ideas and hope that this press conference would kickstart a greater exchange for climate innovations. Thank you for your attention.
Kazakhstan has achieved high growth in technological progress because of rich natural resources on its territory. In general, production with such a high level of energy consumption and environmental pollution leads to ecosystem degradation and negatively affects the population. Unfortunately, the current environmental situation in the country leads to ecological degradation of ecosystems and a significant increase in diseases. Today, Kazakhstan is in the top 30 countries in terms of energy intensity and level of harmful emissions into the environment. The question that has to be answered is how to achieve economic progress without harming the environment and the people of the country. The draft environmental code of the Republic of Kazakhstan lays down the advanced methods used in developed countries to radically reduce the negative impact of industrial enterprises, based on the principles of the best available techniques. BAT are innovative methods that are technically feasible, economically accessible, and have the least negative impact on the environment. The BAT principles provide an integrated approach and cover all production processes, including resource and energy conservation, energy efficiency, low-waste technologies, eco-management, the introduction of thermal gas utilization systems, the introduction of water cycle in production, recycle and reuse of waste. The advantages of using BAT are use of low-waste technology, use of less hazardous substances, automated method for unloading and storing coal, effluent reuse, reduction of air pollutants, efficient resource consumption. Industrial enterprises that have adopted the BAT principles increase their competitiveness in global markets. The country's industrialization is carried out taking into account the mandatory reduction of the negative impact on the environment. Enterprises that have received integrated environmental permits are exempted by the state from paying environmental charges within the framework of stimulating the transition of enterprises to the principles of BAT. For enterprises that have not implemented IEP, environmental charges will gradually increase by 2, 4, and 8 times. Through the BAT introduction, in the near future, Kazakhstan is expected to improve natural ecosystems and reduce the incidence of depopulation. International Green Technologies and Investment Projects Center. Development with concern for the future.
Hello, dear participant of the Climate Action Day. First of all, I would like to thank organizers Brussels Press Club for the hosting this very important event. From the name of International Green Technologies Center, I'd like to make a short presentation about IGTIC. So, our center was established just 2.5 years ago. Mission of our center is to assist in Kazakhstan's accelerated transition to a green economy. Activities are expertise, green investment, implementation of global initiatives, green project management, transfer to technologies. Also, we are in charge of green project promotion. We have a very good international cooperation relations with main world finance institutes and green international organizations as UNDP, UNIDO, etc. For us, it's also very important to accelerate green knowledge and green computing and also consulting. Our center is based on the legacy of the international specialized exhibition Astana Expo 217. As you may know, the main goal of Kazakhstan Strategy 2050 is to share of alternative energy source, and the RES should achieve 50% by 2015. Energy efficiency is a reduction of GDP energy consumption by 25% in 2020, comparing to initial indicators of 208. So we can say that we achieved this goal. In water resource, we are trying to solve the issue of water supply for population by 2020 and for agriculture purpose by 2040, increasing the productivity of agriculture land by 1.5 times by 2020. Concerning our international green technologies and concerning our international cooperation, we would like to say that we are working closely, and we always welcome new partners all over the world. Measures for transition to the green economy are carried out through energy saving and increase of energy efficiency, sustainable use of water source, development of sustainable and productive agriculture, also development of power generation industry, waste management system, air pollution reduction, ecosystem conservation, and effective management. Now I would like to attract your attention to the objectives and target indicators of transaction by the green economy. So, as I mentioned, we have a concrete view, we have a concrete documents, governmental documents, and a concrete fixed KPI, state KPI. So water resource till 2050, we will settle the water supply issue once for all 2050. Also, we are working closely to achieve concrete goals in agriculture, energy efficiency, electric power, air pollution, waste management, as I said. As you may know, Kazakhstan, the territory of Kazakhstan, we are on the 9th place in the world, so we have a very big wind potential of Kazakhstan. So 50% of Kazakhstan has the average annual wind speed around 5 meters per second. So today's number of regions wind speed in 6 meters per second or more, which is highly perspective for wind power use. So we have a very big perspective and potential of wind energy. Strategic policy of development of Kazakhstan until 2025, which provides the creation of international green technologies and investment center, are legislation improvement, power sector transformation, sustainable urban development, transition to green business, development of renewable energy, increase of green growth potential, also transfer to technologies, and is very important for us is a transaction to the BAT, best available techniques. Concerning our international cooperation, we are working to ameliorate Green Bridge program participants. Nowadays, we have only 16 countries who are the member of this Green Bridge program. So we are inviting and we are welcome all new states to take a part of this Green Bridge program participants. You can find detailed information on our website, IGTIC.org. So what gives the cooperation with our center? We offer manifold possibilities for the development of green business, supporting the growth of the country's green economy, innovative vision of the market in the renewable energy sector, production waste management, water application efficiency increase, also power management and ecosystem conservation. We are also can give a full expertise on national, regional, and international levels. Our priorities are green rating of enterprises, National Bureau development of National Bureau of Best Available Technologies, Advanced Studies Training Center, development of international cooperation, as I mentioned before, and expert analysis of energy conservation and energy efficiency. Dear participant, we welcome you to Kazakhstan, and our center can be a one-stop shop for all investors in green economy, green finance, and also in green education. Thank you very much for attention, and I'd like to give a floor to my colleague, expert of green urban system, Mr. Adambek. Thank you.
The Institute of Fuel, Catalysis and Electrochemistry, named after Dmitry V. Sokolsky, was established in 1969 and today is the leading scientific institution of Republic of Kazakhstan in the field of catalysis and electrochemistry. The main activity of the research institute is aimed at the integration of scientific, educational and production processes in the field of petrochemistry, catalysis, electrochemistry and ecology. The scientific inventions of the institute have repeatedly received international recognition. One of the latest achievements of the institute is the project Organization of the Production of Metal Catalyst Neutralizers of Toxic Component in Gas Emissions of Vehicles and Industrial Enterprises. The purpose of this project is to organize the production and sales of domestic catalytic converters to reduce the toxicity of waste gases from industrial enterprises and vehicles of the Republic of Kazakhstan. In Kazakhstan, a huge amount of harmful toxic substances are emitted daily into the atmosphere by motor vehicles operating on internal combustion engines, furnaces of processing enterprises, boiler houses, and industrial installations. The level of air pollution in many industrial cities in the Republic significantly exceeds the existing regulatory limits. In terms of the dynamics of emissions of harmful gases per capita, Kazakhstan at times exceeds the average world level of specific emissions. Every day, the environmental problem becomes more and more relevant and significant. The main toxic components of exhaust gases are carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, unburned hydrocarbons, and soot. Carbon monoxide, gas without color and odor, in small concentrations causes headache and heart pain, and in high concentrations is a threat to life. The odor and color of the exhaust gas gives nitrogen dioxide. Under the influence of light, it is converted to ozone and retained in the air due to the hydrocarbons and contained in the exhaust gases. Coupled with moisture, ozone forms a cloud of cloudy smog. It is frighteningly hanging over the big cities we see. These harmful substances with atmospheric precipitation fall to the ground and are sources of a pollution of rivers, reservoirs, green spaces, and soil. In the end, we breathe, they get into drinking water and food. The solution to this problem is the proposed catalytic converter. The essence of the neutralization of toxic substances consists in a certain chemical process that converts harmful components of exhaust gases, carbon monoxide, hydrocarbon and nitrogen oxides, into harmless ones, carbon dioxide, water vapor, and nitrogen. Let's see how the catalytic converter works. The catalytic converter located under the stainless cover consists of thousands of heat-resistant metal honeycombs, the surface of which is covered with a composition of metal oxides and a layer of a noble metal. This composition of metals is able to react with toxic gases and convert them to safe for health. All these metals cannot be corroded. In spite of the fact that the gases emitted by the engine enter the neutralizer and leave it in a fraction of a second, a large number of honeycomb microchannels, up to 50 per 1 square centimeters, provides a sufficient increase in the area of the contact of metals with gases. So the glowing toxic gases, namely molecules of nitric oxide and carbon monoxide, together with unburned components of the fuel, come out of the engine and get into the catalytic converter, warm it up to the reaction temperature and begin to interact. It is here, when passing through thousands of microchannels of the catalyst covered with platinum and palladium, the processes of transformation of toxic compounds into harmless ones proceed. Carbon dioxide and water form from carbon monoxide and unburned hydrocarbons, and oxygen is taken from the nitrogen oxide, resulting in a non-toxic nitrogen. The advantages of the developed catalytic converters are that they have high thermal stability, high performance, increased mechanal strength, resistant to poisons, macroporous structure, low cost. The degree of purification of gases is up to 100%. Block catalysts retain high activity corresponding to the European standards for more than 100,000 kilometers of mileage for cars and more than 1 year of operation for boilers and industrial facilities. To date, catalytic converters have been tested for the following types of vehicles: The implementation of the project will allow to establish the release of a significant product to meet not only domestic needs, but also for export. The production and widespread introduction of these neutralizers to neutralize toxic gas emissions is extremely urgent for both motor transport, including cars and trucks, buses, mining vehicles, and forklift trucks, and for industrial enterprises. Their production and implementation will significantly improve the state of the air basin and make a significant contribution to solving their environmental problem in the region. At the same time, the installation of these neutralizers will avoid environmental fines for hundreds of millions of tenge.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Adambek Nurjan. I'm a part of International Green Technologies and Investment Project Center team. I'm working at the Business Support Department at the center. Today, I would like to shortly introduce you one of the upcoming and promising projects that is aimed at gradual improvement of the current urban development system. So in the last few decades, most of the developing countries have adopted the concept of low-carbon cities, which provides integrated approach to managing the entire urban infrastructure, including through the introduction of smart city principles and standards. At the same time, nearly 40% of the population of Kazakhstan lives in the rural areas. Therefore, in December 2019, the discussion of the draft state program for regional development for 2020-2025 was held in the government. The Prime Minister of Kazakhstan stated that within the next 7 years, the focus on the implementation of the Aul Yelbisig program aimed at creating a comfortable environment for living in rural areas will be made. This will improve the quality of life of about 7 million rural residents. Kazakhstan faces a large-scale task to achieve sustainable and balanced green growth. This requires further changes aimed at promoting environmentally and socially oriented development. Therefore, not only cities, but also rural areas should become environmentally friendly and safe for its inhabitants. Here, our International Green Technologies and Investment Project Center came with the initiative to develop the concept of low-carbon green development of rural areas in Kazakhstan. At the first stage of this project, the pilot project of the development of low-carbon green development of Burabay village, one of the most frequently visited resort areas in Kazakhstan and even among the CIS countries, has been proposed. Burabay resort area has a very huge tourist potential. The village is located in the area of specially protected natural resources territories and has a number of limitations that had to be considered during the process of construction and modernization of facilities, including the introduction of the integrated waste management system. To do this, our International Green Technology Center plans to develop the concept of low-carbon development of Burabay village. Under this concept, the current situation will be studied, energy audits of social facilities will be carried out, the recommendations to reduce energy consumption based on these energy audits would be recommended, and the waste management system will be elaborated to reduce the waste and negative impact on the environment. In addition, several seminars on the implementation of the energy management system in the budget institutions of the Burabay village will be held. As for now, International Green Technology Center is actively seeking for the international and national donors to implement the above-mentioned project. The pilot project for the Burobai village can be further replicated on the hundreds of the other rural areas in Kazakhstan with the potential for future developments. Based on the integrated projects approach, the center has already participated in the development of a master plan for the creation of a green technologies park in the Burobai village. Here you can see the presentation of this park. The master plan considers the creation of pilot site, Green Technologies Park, for the demonstration and of the new advanced green technologies and further spread of the experience in the other regions of Kazakhstan. The park is planned to be located on the adjacent territory of the multifunctional complex, which you can see here, which is constructed by the BI company, construction company, and the project includes the concept of the park, the collection of baseline data, analysis of the existing situation, the analysis of the technologies of the local and foreign manufacturers, development of the structure and provision of recommendations. So as a part of this report, the register of suppliers of green technologies has been developed with the up-to-date information about the current market situation. So the goal of this project is to demonstrate the use of advanced green technologies in real conditions with the possibility of its further adaptation and dissemination of the experience gained in the other regions of Kazakhstan. The Green Technologies Park is a cultural, educational, and a research platform for demonstrating the use of the advanced green technologies in real conditions with the possibility of further adaptation and dissemination of the experience. Currently, the park concept is used in many countries around the world to promote economic development, ensure environmental protection, and provide opportunity in the fields of environmental education. The Green Technologies Park, this theme park, which includes many elements of the green technologies. We can see a few of them in our presentation. So, yeah, here you can see the main concept of this park, which will be based on the active zone with some kind of children playgrounds with the elements of the green technologies, the zone for recreation. The currently park, the functional purpose of the park is not limited only by recreational areas, but also includes working with the academic institutions, business, industrial enterprises, and the public sector. The main goals and the objective of the Green Technologies Park is to use the eco-friendly technical solutions and materials integrated into the park infrastructure, creating conditions for year-round full-fledged recreation and various leisure activities, ensuring safe recreation of the citizens. Here was the short presentation of the Green Technologies Park, and now let me give the floor to my colleague Aynur Sarsenova, the developer of organic belts around the cities of Kazakhstan.
Good day, everyone. My name is Aynur. I'm the developer of one of the developers of the project Organic Belt around the cities of Kazakhstan. This project was initiated by institution of International Academy of Ecology, and its And I think it's very useful for every citizen of Kazakhstan because it allows to solve a range of economical, social, and environmental problems. Waste from livestock, poultry farming, and also sewage sludge has a strong negative impact on the ecological environment. These wastes are a favorable environment for the growth and development of many pathogenic microorganisms. Also, in the process of decomposition of these wastes, poisonous substances like methane, hydrogen sulfide, ammonia, and other compounds are released. Organic wastes accumulating every year threatens not only environment but also the country's economy. In the Republic of Kazakhstan, the number of cattle at the beginning of 1970s is more than 6 million herds, which every year increases the amount of accumulated cattle manure by more than 32 million tons. Also, the number of bird species in the country at the beginning of 1970s is more than 27 million herds, which every year increases the amount of accumulated poultry manure by more than 3 million tons. And also in the country produced more than 5 million tons per year sewage sludge. So the creation of large poultry farms and transfer of poultry farming to the industrial basis also causes significant disturbance in the ecological balance, pollution of the environment, including the airspace and territories of the economy and the surrounding area. To cope with the entire volume of waste generated, industrial waste-free, environmentally friendly technologies is needed. One of the methods of bioconversion organic waste is composting. With this method can be obtained an environmental friendly, efficient fertilizer. This waste processing method compares favorably with other methods with low capital investment, low energy consumption, and no secondary waste and safety. And also its safety. The efficiency of composting of the organic waste directly depends on the efficiency of the applied biological products based on microorganisms, which capable to accelerating bioconversion of organic waste. So the absence of domestic developments in these directions and also problems and also accumulated numerous environmental problems dictate us to develop biopreparations for bioconversion of organic waste and obtain fertilizers to maintain and increase soil fertility. At present, our institution developed biopreparations which consist from 14 and 15 microorganisms which capable to process organic different types of organic waste, including animal waste, sewage sludge, and solid domestic wastes. The technological process of biological solid phase fermentation of organic waste has been worked out. Also, we developed the technology of production of this biofertilizer with application of also we developed the technology of producing of bio preparations. With application of these biopreparations and technology of bioprocessing of organic waste, the waste can be processed in 30-40 days. Also, we know how to make composted organic waste to biohumus. In this slide, we show the influence of obtained biofertilizers on the growth of developed plants. We see that our biopreparation increased the yield of grain and vegetable crops by 30-40%, suppresses the growth of phytopathogenic fungi and bacteria that cause diseases of cereals, stimulates the growth and development of grain and vegetable crops, improves the development of root hairs. In these slides, we show the advantages of our preparations. It is multifunctionality, environmental friendliness, permeability, harmlessness, storage, and transportations are very easy. We developed, we got patents for technology of processing, also the patent for biopreparations, and now we want to produce our biopreparation in industrial scale. Thank you very much for attention.
Since the dawn of time, we have been fascinated by the land beyond the horizon. We have roamed in search of something new, and every traveler has imagined their ideal travel stand. It was a land where an awe-inspiring view greeted you on every corner. And talk about the roads. It's a land of enchantment, where messages from the past await. It's a land of adventure. Every road rewards you with a different road, through mountains, steppes, canyons, valleys, and even those roads that no one has stepped on before you. And each night in Travelstan feels like home, whether under the vast sky or under a one-of-a-kind roof. While you catch up on rest or hang out with your new friends, how can we ever have enough time to do everything, to remember this city and this sunset and this moment with that special sunrise? While in Travelstan, you can't help but be inspired. Wow, that heavenly smell. In Travelstan, experience a land of culinary discoveries, where for every meal you get a new deal. Imagine your Travelstan. What will it be like for you?
Welcome to Kazakhstan.
Welcome to Kazakhstan.